Hey guys, well I got a bit of a late video today, but it's better late than never, right? But we got some DN quickies for today because I was in the mood for DN lately, so you get some quickies. But this deck I'm using is it's Noble Rabbit or Sparkman dash Noble Rabbit. Basically it uses the whatchamacallits. It uses Sparkman and it uses the Noble Knights as, you know, rabbit fodder basically, but I don't know, it's definitely not as powerful as Dino Rabbits are, but it's still a fun deck to use. But yeah, first turn I did pull a rabbit, so I tried to go for it, but then he's like, nope, gonna go for Valor. That's fine because he just said something, so I didn't have to worry about him doing something really dangerous. But then I can just go for rabbit. I said I would go for blade armor. I don't know why I did, but I guess I thought I could get a couple extra attacks off you Raikos though. But I can at least get off my Sparkman 16, and I do have that warning face down, so I should be safe enough against what he does. But he mills off, I think, 2 card troopers and a dark flare, which works out for me, but he does have a bad hand, so he can't really do too much. But I pull into a reinforcement, so I just decided to go for my last Artigorius. I don't really know why, but then I just go into Utopia just for safety. I should have not done that first, but I have this annoying habit just on DN. It's just I don't even think about it, but I usually make my exceeds before I attack. If they have an open field, I make an exceed, and it's like, no, I should have gone two attacks and then gone in my exceed, but I don't think about it because I don't think in general, and there was a random scat call. But he does have BLS in hand, so he's going to go for that, and then he goes for recharge. I don't know why he didn't go for the recharge first, but he mills off a charge and a tour guide, so that works out for me. But he pulls into another recharge, so he's just going to mill off a couple Lila, or he's going to discard a Lila, and then he mills off a Lila and a Valor, so that works out for me. I mean, it's not going to be too huge in the long run, but whatever the case, just waiting for this BLS to do something, but he's going to play off his Eclipse Wyvern, and then I go into Gores, so that works out for me, because now I got a 300 or 3,000 beater right there. I could go for the Duality right there, but I actually could go, well, I can go for the Miracle Fusion, so I just go into Shining, just because why not, crash the token, because nothing better to do, and kill off his Wyvern, and then he doesn't take enough damage for the Wyvern. And it's like, I gotta tell him, hey, you take more. And then he doesn't search for the Wyvern, which is kind of weird, but I think you're supposed to, but I guess it didn't really matter just because he loses that turn either way, so he just had to take his damage and die. And I guess he was just gonna go for the search if he could after I attacked, but then he goes for a rematch, and I'm like, okay, I'll go for another match. That match kind of sucked, but I do side in my couple of D-Fissures, because I run D-Fissure in this. I don't know why I don't run macro, but I guess I run D-Fissure mainly just because if I want to miracle with something. So whatever the case, he goes for a lure, and then he goes for a recharge. He doesn't really get too much off of it, so that works for me, but I get a rabbit first turn, so I can go rabbit, but he does again go Valor, so that kind of sucks because I think this turn he is able to get something to kill off my rabbit. Well, I mean, he probably has multiple things that could, but no, he actually just sets, so now he's going to go for charge, though, and he mills off a couple of nice things for himself, which kind of sucks, because mainly that light pulsar, and I'm like, shit, please don't have a dark in hand, please don't have a dark in hand, please don't have a dark in hand, because I know he just charged, so I know he's going to have a light in hand, but I can't remember if he actually had a dark in hand or not. I think he did have a dark in hand, so I think he is able to go for light pulsar right here. Yep, he does go for light pulsar. I don't know why he just didn't go for it, but he said it and it was like whatever. But he does kill off my rabbit, so that kind of sucks because I don't have too many plays in this hand. I mean, what I could do is go into something to try and kill the light pulsar, but I don't really have much I could do because I can summon out one of my, either my Sparkman or my Argatorius, but I decided to go Sparkman and then go on and then go into Maystroke and then flip him down so I can try and kill him, because he doesn't have any targets in grave for Light Pulsar's effect, so I can at least kill him that turn, and then maybe next turn I can use Maystroke's effect to flip down if it wants to come back out, but I'm not really sure if he's going to have another Dark to bring back out, but we'll see. But he's taking a bit to make his move. I do have a Valor in hand, so if he tries to go for something, I should be okay, but he just goes for Raikou and tries to kill off this thingy, and he didn't mill for the Raikou, which I don't know, I wasn't going to tell him to, because then it's like, that kind of hurts me if he does mill, you know. But he brings out a Light Pulsar with a Tribute Summon, and then I get to kill him off with the Knight Assailant there, so at the very least he does not have a Light Pulsar on field, but he might be able to find some way to get out. But he just said something, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go straight for Argatorius, because fuck it. I'm figuring he's just setting a Raikou, and I was right, and he doesn't mill off for this Raikou. He mills off a Darkness Metal, so, well, the only Darkness Metal he could have, but then he banishes out for his third Light Pulsar, and I'm like, shit, well, he's probably just going to attack, because I don't think there's really many plays he can do otherwise, unless he has some way to get Red Eyes out, which I kind of doubt he can this turn, but I think he might have a monster. No, he goes off for another Light Pulsar in his grave, and then he just hits me for 25, and I just bring out a Gores. So at the very least, I can kill off both his dudes next turn, but he chains Max C, which I don't actually think you can chain Max C to Gores, but you probably can. But actually, because I think you can only do Max C in the main phase, I don't remember. But then he just kills a token off right there so that he can go into Red Eyes. Yep, that is what he does. So he at least kills off Gores, and then he's protected with the second Light Pulsar on field. But then he's gonna Red Eyes, and I was like, I should have Veilered there. Oh well, I didn't really feel like it, because I figured it would still be game either way, unless I pulled in something good here, which I don't. So yeah, it's basically game this turn, because there's nothing I can do, because he just gets Red Eyes out again via Light Pulsar. But he actually does not bring it out, which I guess he didn't know he could, or I don't really know. He's making some huge misplays with this deck, or it might just be me being overcritical. No, it's not really me being overcritical, it's just that he's really not playing it right, because he missed a mill, he missed revival there, so I don't know. But I decided to just Veiler that thing, because I don't want it to bring back anything else. But he has a BLS in hand, so that's game right there. And now we get to go into game 3. So, you know, that'll be fun. But I'm actually kind of surprised how decently I'm doing against Chaos Dragons in this, just because of the fact that generally Chaos Dragons is not the best matchup for any kind of rabbit deck, but I decided a few more things because I forgot to decide those things in. I didn't even get any of my cards I decided in last game, so whatever the case, I'm just going to set to play down Argatorius because I might as well throw down my biggest beater in hand. But he's just going to go for charge. Mills off a couple decent things. I think he milled off a recharge there too. I actually wasn't really paying as much attention as I could have, but I know he at least milled off a Trag, I believe. But then he gets Raikou, obviously sets it. I'm just like, okay, I'll just attack with Argatorius. And he actually targets my face down. It's like, okay, I can live without my bottomless. Actually, I'd prefer to have bottomless, but oh well. But then he brings out Gores. I'm like, I do have D-Prison, so at least I can do that. But he brings out Lila to pop my back row. I'm like, that's fine. I should have Veilered it, but I was being stupid, because I am generally stupid. But then he brings out the BLS, and he just goes with the double attack. And I'm just going to take that, and then I'll let my Gores go off. But he goes 16. I'm like, yeah, screw it, I'll take it, and then go into Gores. I should be okay, which I'm hoping I'll be okay. But there, yeah, I don't know, just the end of turn. He does have to mill off for Lila, which he's remembering his mills now, and then he mills off a Wyvern, and yep, goes for the effect, and probably, I think he just goes for Red Eyes. No, he goes for Dark Armed, which means he either has Red Eyes in hand, or he doesn't trust in his ability to bring something out to banish Wyvern to get the stuff. But I'm like, okay, I'll just crash into Gores, and then I'll kill off his Lila, and then next phase I can just banish out for my BLS and banish his BLS, so I might as well do that to get rid of his BLS. And I don't set the warning because it'd be completely pointless. I don't have the life points to use it, so I probably shouldn't have taken all those hits, but at the very least I still do have a pretty huge beater token on the field. But he's going to Monster Born for a Light Pulsar, which really isn't going to do too much for him, but he's actually going to go into his Black Rose because he plays down the Effect Veiler. So I'm just going to Veiler his Black Rose because I do not want him popping my field. So it was a good thing I did save the Veiler, even though it could have potentially been better if I didn't save it, but I don't know. We'll never know. But, I mean, it works in this instance because I get to kill the Black, or I get to stop the Black Rose, rather, not kill it. But, puts his token in defense, and I think I can actually go for game this turn. So what I can do is bring out Tour Guide, and then just wait for him to, I'm just making sure he doesn't have a Veil or anything. And he's like, I'm just like, whatever, I'm not even going to ask if it's good or not. I'm assuming it's good if he's just going to let it go through, but going to overlay with that, and I think I just go, yep, I go into Leviair, and I'm like, okay, what can I revive? And I said, alright, we'll just revive Argatorius, and I can just kill his token off with Argatorius, I think. Actually, I couldn't, yeah, because I hit him with 16, so that kills off the token. Then I can just, I believe I can just attack for game right here, because my token's at 27, so that is game. So, yay! I somehow pulled that through because some lucky draws, and I was able to Valor his Black Rose. So, I mean, that kind of worked. But anyways, next set of games here. I believe it's a match duel. I think this guy was playing, yeah, this guy was playing Agents, actually. So, it won't be the greatest matchup ever, but it won't be the worst ever. But I do start off with an okay hand. I start off with a Ryo, which is always good. Oh no, this is the... Right, I've mixed these up. This obviously he's playing X-sabers. I thought I'd put the Agents one here, but no, he's playing X-sabers. So first turn he gets a pretty good field presence, but I decided I'll just drop Honest right there. I do have the Avarice in hand, so I can use that later. But I decided to drop a second Thunder King in case one of his back rows would make one of my other Thunder King go away. But I try to attack that guy, and he just goes for the Prison, which, whatever. But then he gets a search, or not a search, but he gets a special off of that, I forget what that one was called, but I at least killed off. And then he goes into Dark Soul, and he just attacks me, and I didn't know that thing actually got an attack boost from his ability, so I was like, okay, how many things does he have on the field? Okay, and then he tried to attack again. I was like, I get it, I was just making sure, because I never play Actually, I've been playing a couple X-saber decks lately, but I'm not used to playing X-sabers. But he makes a mistake of going for the middle guy's attack first, but I did not... He goes for some trap, I guess, that prevents special summons, but I don't know if that actually works because it was in the damage step, but I just didn't even fucking bother. I was just like, you know what, I just want to get this done. I should still have pretty good advantage because I draw on a rabbit, so... And my hand was pretty decent, so I could have played out of whatever he did, but go into 2 Argatoriuses from the rabbit, and I'm like, okay, what do I want to go into here? I figure Utopia should be the best thing to go into, so I do just go into that. I do have the Sparkman and a Reinforcements in my hand, and I do have the Avarice, so I should not be in too huge of problems with whatever he does. So he's going to play down that thingy. I don't remember what it's called. I don't know anything about X-sabers, but he goes into Souza, the fucking stupid-ass reprint dude, and his first effect is like he has to tribute an X-saber to get an effect, which is just he can automatically destroy me when he attacks, but I'm just going to use Utopia's ability to stop the attack, so that's fine by me. And then end phase he gets the effect of the Dark Soul, I believe, and he gets that thingy in hand. Don't really know what it does, don't really care what it does. Actually, it's just a tuner, so that's all I really need to know. But I'm looking at my hand, I'm like, okay, I know for sure I can set down the Solemn, but I don't know what else I want to do. Like, I'm just trying to think what would be the best course of action, but I look Engrave, I'm like, okay, let's pull into a Gawan, and then I can go into something with Gawan. I believe what I do is, first of all, yeah, I bring out that shit. I believe I go into Maystroke. That or I go into Excalibur, but I believe I go into Maystroke because I figured that would be better utility for the long run. So I do just detach one for Maystroke, and then I go for Avarice right here because I do have just enough to do it, and I figure, well, not figure, but I know, I mean, those should be safe ones to Avarice just fine, but pulling a couple things, and I'm like, okay, I forgot completely what that guy's defense was. I thought Maystroke was stronger, but I was like, let's just be safe, and just in case, whatever, he just doesn't lose as many life points, but I should be okay no matter what he does. Brings out a guy, I don't remember what it does, but, oh yeah, it just negates attacks or whatever. But, now what he can do is he just sets down 1, goes into this thingy. I'm like, okay, he's gonna sink for something. He can only go for, I think, like a 5 or 6, but it's at a bottomless, that thing, and he still gets to destroy my Judgment, but it's still better off than, you know, whatever. But it's that just randomly set song and just have something on the field, and I just try and attack him with Maystroke first, so that he negates the more, or less powerful attack, and I can get the more powerful one off. But he draws into nothing, so he just quits the game. Otherwise, I could have just get Miracled, and it would have been game. So that's that one. But now, this last one is Agents. This last one is Agents, which, like I was saying, not a bad matchup. The last one, I mean, X-sabers are kind of underwhelming anyways, but Agents are always an annoying matchup just in this meta in general with any deck. But he gets a first turn advantage. He just sets a few things, well, a couple things, and I just get a first turn heavy, so at the very least I'm not too scared. I can't really tell what kind of deck he is, obviously, because they're just normal standard back rows. But I didn't assume Agents just because, you know, you wouldn't expect Agents that much. But again, oh, well, not really again, I make the mistake because I have to play Gawan in defense, but I just pull into Argatorius so I can get out Gawan and then get out Utopia just because, again, it's a good utility. And I guess this guy's a bad hand too because I'm just poking him for 25s. I could end the game next turn depending on what he does, but he just goes for the MST on a face down and then sets a monster, sets a back row, ends, and I get another bottomless, and I'm just going to bring out Sparkman and just attack for a little bit, but I think this turn he just calls game. Yeah, because really bad hand. He's like, rematch. I'm like, okay. Because mine is fucking well. I see the honest, but it still doesn't tell me that much, so I don't really know what to side in. I'm just like, screw it, I'm not going to side anything in. I should generally be okay, because, yeah. The only problem with this deck, though, is just that you have to clog up your deck way too much, so with a bunch of monsters and a bunch of, because you got to run the miracles for the deck, so you can't run as many back rows as you might like, but it still works out. It's just space is a lot tighter than it would be in Rabbits, but he had a Sungen face down. I think he had a Warning face down, too, but then he just plays, MST for my face down, and then just Dark Holes my Sparkman. I guess he thought it was threatening enough. But now he's just going to go into Earth, and he for some reason graved it, but then I thought he was going in Hyperion. I was like, oh shit, that's going to be annoying to get over, but he just stays in with Earth, and I just have another Sparkman in hand, so I'm just going to hit him with that, and end the turn, because I really have nothing better to do. But I think here, yep, he does go off with this thingy, Venus, and he just brings out 3 Shine Balls. Did he pay for it? Or, yeah, he's paying after. And then he bounces one back, I believe. Yep, he does bounce one back for a Birdman, and then special summons one out. Again, one being another Shine Ball. But then he's going to make Gotchi right here. And then I think he goes for Scrap Dragon right after. I think is what he does, because he has a bunch of options. I don't know why he went Scrap. I would have gone Stardust if I was him, but he decides to attack first because he'll get more life points damage on me first, and then he'll do it. But then, yep, he just kills off my Sparkman, and then he's going to go into, like I said, Scrap Dragon, which, I mean, I guess he goes into it for the power, but it's like, in the end, he might have been better off if he went into Stardust. Except not really in the end, actually, as you'll see. But looking at my hand, I do have a few options, because I do have that Miracle there, so if I can get into something, well, I actually have 2 Sparkman and Grave, so I can just go right into, Shining, and then I can go into Tour Guide and well, not either, but I can go into Tempo actually, and then get off materials from Gotchi, and then I'll be able to kill off his Scrap Dragon, so that'll be kind of nice. But I was just waiting for a response. I guess he doesn't have one, or it's like, I don't know, for some reason I want to be sure there that he didn't have a response, but I'm just going to go into Night Assailant because that's the best thing to do right now. But I'm like, I was like, should I go into Leviathan? Wait, that wouldn't help me. Let's go into Tempo. Tempo is like Tempo, but detach one from that, and then I get boost. Now just attack Gotchi again so that I can get maximum damage from the Scrap Dragon attack. And, yep, just kill off the Scrap Dragon, and that's the end of that. And now, I don't think he really has anything to play, so he just sets down a monster, and that's that. I'm like, okay, we'll just play down Sparkman. Now I can just poke him for 16 because I don't know what his face down is, so I don't really want to risk whatever his face down is. So I'm just gonna go for Shining's attack. He does he does have down a Night Assailant, so he would have killed my whatchamacallit either way, the Shining. So it was kind of good that I attacked the Shining first because I still get that 16 poke. But now he's going to bring out another Venus and I guess just crash into Sparkman, which, okay, that's fine. And then he's going to go for Soul Taker on Tempo, which is fine as well. I really don't care. But then I pull into a Ryo, so now he can't search or anything. I can stop some special summons that could happen. But I poke him for 19, and then he brings out Jupiter. I'm like, okay, what is that going to do? I don't remember what it does, but it's Banish one agent, and he gets 800 attack, which is perfectly fine, because I think it lasts until... How long does it last? I don't remember how long it lasts, but I think, it just lasts to the end of his turn, so I can just kill him off with this Ryo, and then I believe here he doesn't really pull into anything. I don't remember. I don't think he does. So, yeah, he just sets a face down, and I can just go off right here because I do pull into a Gowan, so I can make whatever I want, but he just quits right after that. So that'll be that match. So that's the end of this video. So hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, Noble Rabbits. It's interesting, but you'd be better off playing Dino Rabbits. So it's not suggested, but it is a fun little deck. It is cheap too, so I mean you could switch off between Dino and Noble, so you know, it's an interesting thing to do, just not the best thing ever. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Such blah, recommend sub, and later guys.